Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the best podcast that you will ever listen to. But talking about Reading, no other podcast can match us. I don't know where I'm going with this. Welcome to another podcast today. Don't forget, Ryan has created one of the best Discords that you will ever come across. The link to the new Discord is down below in the description. If not, go onto our Twitter page and it will be there, and any other social media sites as well. If you haven't any issues with it, please let us know, and I will help you out as much as I can. We talk all things Reading, we talk Formula One, NFL, WWE, and any other sport that's going on as well. And as well at the same time, we will be doing I'm doing my weight loss journey as well, talking about that motivation stuff on there as well. I just put a tab on there today, just to get other people who want to talk about it and have a little conversation about it. Tell me how you're getting on. I'll tell you how I'm getting on, what I'm doing, how I'm getting on, and we can all get through it together. And it'd probably be nice to talk to someone as well and try and help them through it as well at the same time. So all of the links to all of our social medias are down below, and everyone else as well. Don't forget, Josh's Twitch is down below as well, and he will be streaming. We're coming up with some ideas to do that on the stream as well. So go and check them out when we do it as well. So yes.
I'm waiting for my OnlyFans links in the description.
Once you create one, send me a link and I'll put it on. So, have you actually got an OnlyFans?
No, of course not.
I want to see those dick pics. I
don't charge for them.
Are they just free?
All you got to do is ask.
Can I have a dick pic, please? No, not now. So yes, so don't forget to go and subscribe to YouTube. Go and follow us on Soundcloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify to all get notifications for when we go live moving forward. So yes, let's get into it. It's been a busy. It hasn't actually. There's been no transfer news. We were interested in a player in the US. That didn't happen, and we were interested in about two others apparently as well. So skip past that. Let's go on to Paunovic for a second. So I saw a stat and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about it. He was appointed, obviously, at the start of the season. And let's have a look at his record compared to...
I've just seen it.
Yeah, all the other managers that were appointed in the summer as well. So Ivic, who was the Watford manager, sacked. Jonathan Woodgate sacked. Jason Tyndall sacked. Ida Karanka, who spent loads, 21st. Carlos, whoever, 15th. Dean Holden, I think that's the Bristol City manager, if I'm right, 9th. And Valko Paunovic, at this precise moment, is 4th. Okay, so we all know how well he's done with if you could put one finger on the biggest factor he has done for Reading this season compared to...
Actually, Woodgate wasn't appointed in the summer. Woodgate was sacked in like June. It's because of Corona period. Makes it look like he's appointed in the summer. Okay,
so Woodgate can be scrapped off then.
Yeah.
So if you could point one finger at what Paunovic has done to either one, be better than the rest of everyone else that's come into the Championship, or ultimately, what has he done that's different to all the managers before him, even Stam, I think, all the managers before him as well? What has he done different?
I don't think you can put one thing on it.
Yeah.
It's a series of things. But in general, all the people that you listed off then, I think he's a better manager. He's better tactical. He's better motivational. I think he's generally just a better manager than the rest of them.
Yeah, I'd say he's a better manager than all of them. I also think he did well with weeding out the bag eggs and stuff within the squad, which were kind of part of Burton as well, like McCleary, Gunter, Burton being a bit of a knob.
Any of that was him though, because it was...
No, but I think it's helped. I think it's helped. Because I think those three alone were more McCleary and Bowen. I don't think Gunter was a bit of a knob. I think he was just
a knob.
I don't think he's a knob. He's just a bit nothing.
A gender alert.
Oh yeah, you could press the button for my gender alert there, right there. I don't care.
I just think Gunter just turned up, played football very poorly and
then fucked off
for the last 2 years, and then just left.
my opinion on that is I feel dressing room. There seems to be something different around the dressing room. I think we all pointed out with Instagram with Yaku, where the dancing in the dressing room where they had to dance towards them and have a laugh and have a joke. There seems to be something different, like atmosphere-wise, that I haven't experienced at Reading. Huh?
No, nothing. Carry on.
That I haven't experienced for a very, very long time. What the fuck has just happened?
Just carry on. I'm sure I'll use it again at some point during the podcast.
Yeah, all right. I get. Yeah. Anyway, so so that's my opinion. Is there seems to be an altogether, all for one and one for all type of feeling about it. So let's move on to another breaking news that was released today, where about contract situations. It's been told and has been said that Walker, Watson, East, Baldock, Aluko, Smith will not be getting a new contract. Richards' future is near enough finalised away from Reading. Talks are underway with Tom McIntyre. Onion, Tetic, Neves, Pendlebury, Bristow are all expected to sign a new deal for
Did
the
you
future.
just call him Onion, by the way?
Yeah, I can't ever say his name, so I call him Onion. It's like with Mazepin, I call him Marzipan. So if I can't say it or don't want to care about it, I'm just going to give a generic one that goes into my brain. So, what do you expect from that? Are the ones leaving the ones that should be leaving? Are the ones staying should be staying? What's your reaction to hearing all of that?
I'm disappointed that Richards is going, obviously.
We all kind of knew this some time ago, though.
I think it's weird timing. Because surely let's be fair, we've got just as much chance of anybody in the top 6, in the top half at the moment of going up. And
he will have a Premier League deal or something like that sat on the table already, though.
Yeah, but I thought it was quite common knowledge that it wasn't him that wanted to leave. It's majority agent pushing for it.
I don't think that's common knowledge. I think that's what people are trying to say.
That's
we
what
don't know.
Believe's happening.
Yeah,
but you can find out who his agent.
We don't know whether it's behind closed doors. Richards is going, yes, I want a Premier League team, no matter if we get promoted or not. If they go to a team, so Everton apparently interested for a backup for Deeney, West Ham are interested. I'm not being funny.
I was going to say this. I think you'll end up at a West Ham or something.
And even if we get promoted, what does he want to do? A relegation battle, or could be Europa League, Champions League football next year?
But the point is, for me, I think in his position, if it was me, I would rather, I'm not saying that he shouldn't leave. I'm saying he should at least wait until the end of the season before doing anything. Just because if we were to go up, then for me, I'd rather be first choice in a team playing every week than be a backup to Lucas Digne at Everton or be a backup to Aaron Creswell at West Ham. Well, and then if you go down, he'll leave after that season in the Premier League.
I don't think he will. I think that's a very negative way of looking at it. My opinion on it is that I feel like if Reading really wanted to keep him, they could have given him a contract in October, November time. If this was something that they really wanted to do. And according to some people are saying that it's down to financial fair play, we can't do it, which I think is a load of rubbish. I don't think it's financial fair play for wages. It's more about bringing players in. I don't agree with that.
You're only allowed to spend a certain amount of wages, to be fair.
Financial fair play. Derby can bring in as many players as they fucking want, but we can't sign one player. That I don't think that's the issue, because if you look at other teams compared to what we're doing, I feel like there's a different balance of things, and some things are not adding up compared to others. So for me, I think that's a load of bollocks. I think that's just what they want people to think. I think that's the club spinning on it to say, oh, we can't do it because of financial fair play, when really they're like, All right, he's going. He's been talked with another club. He obviously doesn't want to be here, and they just can't be bothered to do it. Which
is such a poor. Yeah, but if that's the case, it's such a poor mentality for a team that wants to be pushing on.
But why is that a poor mentality when he was never going to sign a deal?
No, because at least you've got to try. If you know, but I'm saying that thinking that just because someone or someone else is interested, that there's no point for us going for it. It's such a poor mentality when you're.
It's not one of those that other clubs are going for him.
But if you think about it, we've had let me put this. Last year, I remember having a conversation with people who I worked with at the club saying we had three possible first choice left backs at the club in Obita, Blackett, and Richards.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 years, we're going to have no first choice left backs.
Yeah, and rightly so. 2 of them are not good enough. One of them is just become good. I don't agree with that notion. No. I don't agree with that notion that we had three left backs. Blackett did fuck all for 3.5
where
years.
we were a year ago.
I don't care where we are a year ago. We look at the players that were in that position, they weren't good enough. Abita's just got to fucking Wickham because no one trusted him. Blackett was shit, and he can't even get in the Nottingham Forest team. So he'll end up at League One next season. He's not good enough. Obita's not good enough, and he'll end up at League One next season. And Richards is the only one we had. If the club really wanted him, and the clubs that are circling...
Well, why does the club not want him then?
Well, the clubs obviously do want him because they were talking to him. But he's obviously turned around and gone, no, because Everton, West Ham, Crystal Palace, I think, is another team that is circling. Other clubs as well that are going around. That if you look at Crystal Palace, instant first-team football. Okay, let's be honest. The Van Arnold that I've seen...
I don't agree with that.
Well, you may not agree with it, but it's true because Crystal Palace fans, that Van Arnold,
Tyreek Mitchell
could be, but they're not. Loads of Palace fans are not sold on it yet. You've got no one to do it.
Yeah, but not many Reading fans are sold on Richards till the start of the season, so it's kind of a.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I don't give it. To be honest, I hope Crystal Palace get relegated and get bankrupt. I fucking hate them. So that's my opinion on them. And press that button. Hold on. Press the button.
Agenda alert.
There we go. So that's my opinion on it. I personally think that there has been talk before that we don't know about. We all know that the club don't talk anyway, and the sources we get are very, very minimal compared to other clubs as well. So the talk of what goes on, I really do think that they tried to get Richards to stay, and he's gone, no. He's done what majority of players have done and gone, no, I'm going. All right, then, goodbye then. You did well for us. Thank you for everything you've done for the club. There are plenty more left-backs going around. There are plenty more.
Well, we've already been linked with one, haven't we? That
the one from Colchester, a former Arsenal youth left back who's out of contract in the summer. So it's very much go for him.
Yeah, but let's say we get promoted at the end of the season and then we go for him. Will he be Premier League ready at that point?
If we get promoted and we're in the Premier League, we've got more fucking options because we're in the Premier League. It's not like we're not going to...
Who do we get that does the job Richards does at this point to his level?
Any youngster that's in the Premier League.
The thing is, it's a whole different situation if we were to go up. Financial fair play is then a lot less involved.
It's different ruling in the Premier League.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about it as much.
And also, Brandon Williams at Man United could be up for a loan.
We could also attract a whole different calibre of player.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's one of those ones where if I was the club, I would have had Richards a new deal last January. Blackett was basically out. I would have knowing that Blackett was out of deal, and so was Obita, and Blackett was basically ready to go. And
I don't think Richards deserved a contract at that point.
Yeah, one of my worries about it would be that he has what I call the Blackman effect.
Yeah,
which
6 months.
I think Blackett had that last season.
Blackett definitely had
never
it,
rated Blackett.
No, I didn't like him.
No, neither did I. But he was still for the level we were at, a decent left back where he had 6 months to a year where he was definitely our best left back, and then he's gone to Forest and done fuck all because he just basically went, oh, there's some good money there. Let me go get a better deal.
That's one of the things I think Reading have been very poor at in the past, is when a player's had, like what they did with Bowen, when they have like a game stretch of like 10 games, everyone thinks, oh, fuck me, what a great player they are. Here's a new contract, here's a new 4-year deal, and then just do fuck all. And then that's one of the things that I find Reading do or they do, or what players do is just turn up when they're at the end of their contract and then go, no, I want to go for a better club.
I've got a bit of a controversial opinion. The last person at Reading to give someone a decent contract was Ron Gawley.
Yeah.
And everybody, let's be fair, when he gave Mayte that 4-year contract, everyone was thinking, well, why the fuck have you done that?
Because didn't he already sign a contract like 4 months before?
He signed a free, literally like 4 or 5 months before.
Yeah.
And then he
that
signed
was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
And now look at it. We're like,
yeah. And you can see Yaku's one of those that it's just not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, it's one of those situations. And I find it interesting with the other ones as well. McIntyre's in talks. It looks like that's progressing very well.
I think that'll be done by the end of the month.
Yeah.
And announced. And
Neves come back his debut after his debut under Paunovic on his debut and gets 2 goals. It's like
I would love
a goal and an assist or something like that.
I would love T-Mac to announce his own new contract on his
Twitch. Just have this piece of paper.
Sign it live on Twitch.
Tetic as well. I think it's very much a Paunovic guy.
Are they both from Serbia?
No, he wasn't, but he had family years before.
Well, Tetek's family's all Serbian, but he was born in Oxford.
Yeah, so, and then Paunovic got in on the phone to the Serbian FA to say, you need to get this player in, and you need to get him now, and then he's now Serbian under 21? 23?
23,
21.
Which is mad when you think he's, 17, 18?
Yeah. Pendlebury, is that Ollie? Is that Ollie Pendlebury?
Yeah, he played against Luton. I saw a stat where I think he's on like 9 yellow cards in 12 games in the under-23s, which I'm in a group chat.
Love it. Yeah,
I'm in a group chat on Twitch and they're all kicking off about when he got announced for Luton, saying, "Oh, he gets doing yellow cards." I'm like, I fucking love that in a DM. Just get booked.
Oh yeah, just fucking kick him. Who gives a shit?
Well, we said it the other day. Every Football Manager save ever. Just yellow cards all the time.
Bristow looks like another player that is going to be the future left back position.
Left back, yeah.
Looks like someone who could be a very good backup.
Imagine he doesn't sign a deal.
But there'll probably be loads of players that still want to come with Premier League or Championship.
No, but I'm saying,
sorry.
Huh?
I didn't hear who you said.
He's basically second choice left back Bristow.
Like
the young lad played against Luton. He struggled a bit in the Luton game to begin with, then grew into it, I feel.
Yeah, he's one of those that you just need to give him more game time for him to grow into things. Players that are leaving: Walker, Watson, East, Baldock, Aluko, and Smith.
I'll get the button ready.
I'm not gonna. I probably wouldn't.
Let's go through each one of those and detail their time at Reading. Which one's been?
Okay, let's go through each of them. So I'm going to ask you both before we get into anything.
We did this conversation last week, though, pretty much.
Yeah, but now it's actually been official that they are sort of leaving, so we're sort of just doing it. But we're going to do it in a different way. I've just thought of it. I'm going to ask you both. Huh?
It's officially unofficial.
Yeah, that. I'm going to ask you both to describe in one word their time at Reading, and myself, and I will do it as well. Walker.
Talk about it.
Yeah, no.
It's all good back up about it. God, that's
okay. I'm going to put this here.
Sum up in one word, I'm going to do it in one word. Respectable.
Yes.
Would you like me to do it in more than one word?
No, I agree. The one word I would use, but I don't know if it is one word because I'm not very good with English. So this could be interesting. Unneeded.
I would disagree.
This goes back to that Salford debate.
I disagree that he was unneeded because who did we have when we signed him? I think it was
Vito Manone.
Manone,
The Manone who was disaster class merchant, We had Yakula, who I love to bits. I miss that man. And we had him.
He was unneeded.
So
we didn't need 3 of them.
No, we did, because None was on his way out with his fat wage off to the MLS.
Yeah.
Yakula was
good, very good. I
probably
him.
between him, because I think the whole thing, but I think the thing when he was brought in was he had a good year in League One and proved he was a good League One keeper, which is kind of what Yakula's now proving himself to be. They're both kind of like, are either of these two championship quality? Let's see, because Manone's obviously, or at least was for us, shit. Fucking awful. I hate that man with all my heart. But he's just...
what's that?
Agenda alert.
I hate
That's
him.
even louder.
So
Jesus Christ!
I hate Manone. And he's got... he's gone to, Monaco now and shithoused himself first team football there.
He has got the best agent in world football. Yeah. Him and Eric Choupo-Moting.
Okay, next one. Watson
has got the best agent to ever walk the planet Earth.
To go from relegated with Stoke to PSG to Bayern Munich. How was that?
Yeah, to Champions League finalists.
Yeah.
To Champions League winners.
Just ridiculous. Watson.
He saved a shot.
Next one. We're going to keep rambling on forever. Next one. Watson. Ten-Eye Watson. One word.
Unneeded.
Failure.
Disappointment.
Disappointment.
Yeah, disappointment.
Yeah. East.
We all thought he was going to be the disappointment again.
Unlucky.
I was going to say unfair. I don't think he's had the opportunity.
Yeah, he had that Leeds game, if I was right. He come in against Leeds and just got absolutely annihilated, if I remember correctly. He did okay, but they were just running him ragged.
It was him, Kelly. I think it was a midfield of him and Kelly.
Yeah, because it was under Gomez, wasn't it, if I'm right? Was it under Gomez?
It was under Gomez. I think it was him, Kelly, and Bruno.
I think so. I can't remember. Okay, next one. Bulldog.
Agenda alert.
Fuck off. Can we hyphenate the words fuck off, please? That's just if you can. In the bin, please.
One word.
Shithouse. Shithouse.
I want the hyphen as well. Underappreciated.
He had a purple patch, didn't he, under Bowen? And then...
I don't think I've ever heard so much bollocks saying underappreciated for fucking Sammy Shitty Bulldog. A guy that had 4 shots in the whole of the start of the
agenda alert.
Yeah, this is agenda. He's fucking shit. Can't wait for him to go. He's the waste of £3 million. He never lived up to it. He was meant to be this pressuring, really good closing down defender striker. Damn fuck all. Fuck off. Aluko.
Nigerian
Flop.
Prince. No.
Flop.
No, flop. He is flop.
Yeah. I'm very much the disappointment. It's a shame. It's a shame. I'm going to call it shame.
Shiny head.
Shame. Sam Smith.
Artist.
Oh,
Musician.
for fuck's sake.
That sums him up as
Unlucky.
The only thing I can remember him doing was scoring when we got battered by Norwich.
He also scored that goal in the league, wasn't it? In the League Cup, if I'm right.
He scored 2 against Millwall, and that's when I loved him when he scored. He came off the bench and scored a brace against Millwall in extra time or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, we've got a good striker player alongside John Dazzy, Bob Varson. And then he just fell off a cliff. And
I'm going to say overachieving. In the sense he's not good enough for Reading. He's a League 2 striker at best.
Yeah. All right. Okay, then. So we're going to go with the one final one. If you could describe Omar Richards, his whole time in Reading, what would you describe it as?
You can go first.
I'm really struggling with this one. I'm just thinking. Okay, so there's 2 things I could say to this. There could be the controversial way, or it could be the sensible way.
I'm trying to think of a way that describes him best, because there's a few ones that kind of go as sort of describes him, but not really. It's what I've got a few of.
Okay, so don't use it in one word. Let's use it in not too much of like a sentence.
Almost.
Yeah, just do a sentence. So for me, overhyped by our fans, but still a good player.
I'd say overhyped by our fans, undervalued by the club.
Might be a rightly valued by the club.
I'm going to say it a bit differently. I'm going to use a quote that I heard Sam Fender say on Radio 1. He's the most overrated player in Reading, but the most underrated player in the league.
That's a good,
Yeah. Because I feel like that we as fans have gone, there won't ever be a left back that will do what Omar Richards does. But then if we take our blinkers off and actually look around what is available, if we go up or not, we could probably grab someone that could probably do Richards' position probably the same or a bit better, to be honest. Let's just not go for another.
Well, I think what happened with Richards is what happened with Jamal Lowe at Newcastle.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
What happened is he'll go to a Premier League side he was at Newcastle and looked great in the Championship, looked all right for Norwich, who went down, then went to Newcastle and has looked shit. I feel he's got.
I'm gonna yes and no. Yes, he had looked shit until they changed their formation for him to be an attacking left back, and look what he did against Everton. And when they first decided to let the strings loose on him, he actually does well.
Yeah, but that's the thing is Richards going to play in a system that's always going to cater to how he wants to play if he signs for a West Ham?
It depends on who he signs for. Like Steve Bruce is not going to be at Newcastle for long. So
no, but even if he goes, so let's say he goes to Everton,
easily will suit him.
Yeah, that will suit him down to a T. But if he goes to somewhere like,
to be fair, if we look at Richards, but if we look at Richards, he can defend, he can attack, he can go forward if he has to, he can stay back if he has to. So for him,
yeah, but I think he's still got the odd defensive.
Not as bad as what he did.
Not as bad as what he did, but what I think too is the Bournemouth game where he kind of showed at points he can switch off and have those defensive.
Yeah, I think everyone does though. That's the issue, right?
Yeah, everyone does, but I think he's still.
It's going to be interesting.
That's where I think he lacks the ability to hold out for 90 minutes or even 45 minutes sometimes.
It's going to be interesting now to see what happens if some of these players do sign a pre-contract agreement. How it will go down with the fans, because if you look at the guy at QPR, I can't ever say
Samuel.
Thank you. He was very much hyped up to be the next big thing by QPR fans. As soon as it's announced that he's signing for QPR, every single comment was just absolutely battering him.
To be honest,
he sign a permanent transfer though to Fenerbahce in January.
The thing is, I work with a QPR fan, and so I kind of know the situation with that. And if Richards had done it the way he done it, completely would agree with it. He basically turned around and said his intention was to stay there, and then without telling anyone at the club, went and spoke to Fenerbahce, signed the contract with Fenerbahce when he was over there, come back and said, oh, by the way, I've signed for Fenerbahce. So basically, the club turned around. You could see by how short the statement was about him leaving that it was sort of like, well, you've gone behind our back, so you can fuck off.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's going to be interesting to see what happens because the pre-contract agreements are always a bit dodgy anyway. Let's go on to this.
Not if a player says from early, like almost like Ozil, not like Ozil, but almost in the same vein where he says from early that I'm not interested in signing a new deal. I want to leave at the end of my contract. Then it's kind of like the club's like, fair enough, you've given us notice that you don't want to be here anymore.
Do you know what I feel like? I feel like the journalists around Reading have fucked up the relationship so much with the club that we won't get the information properly, as proper as what we probably would do if we supported any other club.
Well, just back that up with one thing. Look at everything around the Pauno announcement.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that happen?
That really switched into my mind that Reading have got those journalists and everyone around it on strings.
Yeah, they made it look like it was someone completely different but similar.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's this guy. It's definitely this guy. 100% this guy.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not.
And that's one of the things that we are going to struggle with as a fan base, and that's why we have a really good. We struggle as not a podcast, but one of the things that we find as a podcast.
Another one I'm going to say was Swift.
There's loads. There's so many situations that
them two stick out in my mind in recent history. The fact that it was Swift is going. Sheffield United have come in for him. Swift is definitely outgoing. And
nothing happens from it.
We're here 8 months
Another
later.
one is Liam Moore to Celtic.
Yeah,
that one it was all but confirmed that Liam Moore was leaving to go to Celtic for £4 million, and then suddenly he's basically backing us.
That's one of the things I feel like the one that the journalists don't. There's two I would say that really don't help it. There's one who's a regular on the podcast who will just say what's right and do what is right for that. But there's two who I think have at the moment.
I wonder who that could be.
Oh, Courtney's the one that I feel like just says how it is.
One that's a regular on the podcast.
Yeah, so I couldn't be asked doing it. I was going to play all political about
We've either got Courtney or the one who writes shit articles. Hey,
Adam.
Is it Courtney or the one that just
journalist
reposts what Courtney says?
Journalist.
The one that reposts Courtney, the one is the one that, and another one is the one that I think are ruining the relationship just by the type of questions that are being asked and by their sources on it as well. There's only two people who I will text or I will message and go, is this any true?
There's
and if they turn around to me
now.
Huh?
There's only two journalists that I trust now.
Yeah, I text both of them going, is this true? And if they come back to me and go, yes, it is, then I will go and look into it and do things with it. If they go, no, I've never heard of this before, I go, all right, I can't be arsed with it. Like the Rossi situation, I text Courtney and I text someone else and I said,
we all know who it is, just you can say his name, Mark.
Oh, okay, Eddie. I text them both and I went, is this true? They both come back to me and said, never heard of it. I don't know where this has come from. And then nothing happens from it. And I'm like, all right. I literally looked at it and went...
The only reason people are believing it is because someone with a verified tick and 1.2 million followers are saying the deal was possibly...
I think there was talk. There was talk of it.
DiMarzio, I think his name
is? He's like the Fabio.
He's like... The head of Sky yesterday, alongside
he's very much in the know of everything.
Quick question going back. What's the name of the left back from Colchester we're linked with?
It's going to annoy me. I can go find it.
I don't know. The young Ashley Cole, he was dubbed as. I remember that. He was dubbed as that when Arsene Wenger signed him because he was at a non-league club, went for a trial, and they signed him. So
basically, what we do is Cohen Bramall.
That's it. Thank you. Right. So,
and he's played at championship level before. He spent the 17-18 season on loan at Birmingham, so he's got experience at this level.
Yeah. So, Ryan, have you got the Google Doc up, or do you want me to do the Stoke bit?
I can get it up.
Right. That's what she said. So
I fucking hope not.
Yeah.
Well, depends whatever you're into, my man. Whatever you're into.
Not that.
So Riley goes and looks at that. Josh, I'm going to ask you a question.
Right.
If we don't go up, and you be realistic with the transfers, who would be your first signing?
Bramwell's a left back because we desperately need one. But I think we've done the Lawrence thing with him where we've gone, we want you, you know you want to, you
want
know
you, but
that
not
we
that.
want.
Yeah, we want you, but we ain't gonna buy you.
Yeah, we can't buy you. Can you come on a free at the end of the season? He's probably already written down that. Yeah, next season I'll be a Reading player. Basically,
It's in the draft.
It's in the handshakes, all handshakes, and it's in the drafts of the
Elbows.
tweets. It's in draft tweets. We're pleased to announce Kern Bramwell has signed for Reading FC. It's already there, ready.
It's in his,
Scheduled tweet
in his
already.
Twitter drafts for like 1 minute past midnight on the 1st of July. Delighted to finally sign for Reading FC.
Yeah. Scheduled tweets. If I was Reading, I would also sign.
Messi.
Yeah,
You know what?
I had easy on a free at the end of the season.
You know what? I would sign Raquelme just for the bants and to play him just only starting against Bournemouth. That's it. Only time we start
he's
against
out.
Bournemouth. That's it.
Shit.
He's awful, isn't he?
Well, we don't
He
know. He
played
doesn't
4
play.
minutes
We
the
don't
other
know how
day.
good he is.
He
or
played
how
like
bad
5
he is.
minutes the other day, and in those 5 minutes, they conceded to lose to Sheffield Wednesday at home.
Let's
Yeah, but
talk
did
about
you see
that
the
a second.
goal?
That
you
was
see
did
the
you
first
see the
goal?
goal?
fucking hilarious, man. I saw that come up on Twitter and I cried. I was like,
That was excellent. Right, Ryan,
Add
over
that.
to you now. I want you to go. Want you to now tell us and build up to the Stoke game coming this weekend. Tell us a little bit about the history, Stoke's recent form, and a little bit about them. Off you go.
Right. So. We've won 17, we've drawn 17, and we've lost 19. Okay, last time we played them, do we have to talk about it?
Don't have to talk about it. We could just say what the result was and then all of that.
You remember earlier in the season when we played them at the Medeski?
Yep. That was
before that, the last time we played them was it the first game after lockdown?
yeah.
Yeah.
I swear Zhao scored after like 6 minutes, then came off.
Yeah, we drew 1-1. They scored in the 89th minute, something like that, a very late equaliser. Before that, we had back-to-back 0-0 draws away at Britannia.
Britannia.
Am I right in saying both of them games, it was really fucking windy, like to the point we couldn't
really windy and boring and really
Wasn't
dull.
there right in one of the games under Bowen that there was no shots from Stoke or Reading in the game?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one where Charlie Adams started in the middle, just because it's Charlie Adams Stoke, haha, very funny.
Yeah.
And then before that, the last one that you've looked was a 2-2 draw.
Oh, goals!
Yeah, so
Scoring goals against Stoke, we don't know how to do that.
so yeah, it's we've in the last 5 against them, we've lost 1 and drawn 4. Haven't beaten them. Stoke's recent form, they've been a bit shaky, I think. So the last 5 games in all competitions, they were absolutely battered 4-0 by Leicester in the FA Cup. And since then in the league, they've drawn 1-1 with Blackburn, drawn 3-3 with Rotherham, lost 2-1 to Watford, and drew 1-1 with Huddersfield. So they're not
Against Huddersfield, they're down to 10 at half time.
Yeah. Their top scorer this season is Tyrese Campbell, which is quite alarming considering he hasn't played since November.
Stephen Fletcher's playing up front for them at the moment.
Yeah, he's level on goals with Nick Powell. And obviously Stephen Fletcher is just behind 1 less goal.
He scored last weekend. He scored a penalty in the 24th minute. They're currently also playing a 4-3-3. And if you look at it on Google, this is imagine this. They're playing a line of James Chester at left centre half, John Obi Mikel at central centre midfield, and Stephen Fletcher up front. What a core of a team.
Pace.
Pace. They've got Angus Gunn, who was good.
Is back playing for them as well.
He didn't play last week. Harry Suter, who I remember played at Hearts.
Yeah.
He's played right centre back, and their left back from last week, who's a 21-year-old Welshman, got sent off. So that's one. They've also got Sam Vokes on the bench. And is that Tommy Smith who played for Huddersfield when they beat us in the playoffs? And they've just loaned out Tom Ince as well, haven't they?
Yeah. I thought that was quite a weird signing for Luton. At first, I was
They're
like...
probably a cheap loan, to be honest. So
Yeah. At first, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a great signing for Luton. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, no, he is a bit shit.
So
I remember thinking about when he first was at Derby, and I was like, oh, imagine him. Like, I can imagine him ripping up the Premier League and that, and then he's just been awful.
So I'm just
He's
looking
been
here,
shit
and
since he
in
left Blackpool.
the form table,
You know, he's alright for a phase at Derby, to be fair. Go on, Mark.
okay. I've looked at here, and in the form table, Stoke currently sit 21st in the form table. But they are the only team
Can you
behind
tell
them,
us? Can you
Huddersfield.
tell us who the 3 teams below them are as well, please?
Yes, I'm going to.
Good.
I was literally just about to say that until you interrupted. So,
Good.
the 3 teams below them are Huddersfield, Bournemouth, and Cardiff. The teams above them are Wickham and Birmingham, just around them. So their previous 6 games is they've played 6, won none, drawn 4, lost 2. So going into this game, the predictions when we did it back in fuck knows when now. Back then, I went for a 2-2 draw. Adam went for a 1-1 draw. Ryan went for a 2-0 win, and Josh went for a 1-0 win. So yes. So are you both happy with that? Will you stick with that? You can't change it anyway, but you're happy with.
Yeah, I'm now sad because I've just seen a clip on my timeline of. Do you remember when we played Burton at home and Manone had an absolute disaster?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
That's where the agenda stuff.
Yeah.
That's where my agenda comes from, just as when we were talking about the agenda earlier.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Do you want me to press the
we're playing up a day skill. We're playing.
That would really make my day. It was the we're playing the Britannia.
Okay, let's look at their home form.
We don't tend to score goals very often against Stoke, which is why I went for 1-0.
Go away, you dick! I didn't want fucking adverts, you twat. Reading currently sits 2nd in the overall form table. Just the only team ahead of us is Brentford. Who look like a very good team. At home, the last 6 home games, Stoke sit. Huh? You stop fucking interrupting when I'm talking. What's up?
Stop talking then.
I was fucking talking first.
I can't remember what I said now.
Oh, shut the fuck up then.
You
Stoke
interrupted me.
6th, 9th. I will fucking just end this. I can't be arsed with fucking people interrupting. Just shh.
I didn't say anything.
You were talking when I was fucking talking.
It's like when your teacher tells you off and you just sat there. You're like,
Jesus Christ. Stoke currently 6th.
You know what? Fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up and mute it. Stoke sit 9th in the form table, played 6. I will get rid of you. I have no worries in that. Thank you. Or just leave. It'd be even better. Are you going? There you go. So Stoke currently sit 19th, played 6, won 2, drawn 1, lost 3. Let's have a look at the form, the away form, if I could get it up. I can't see it. It's not letting me press it. Just not a fucking tool. It's not letting me press at all. What's going on my iPad here? The away form at the moment, Reading sits 8th. Ooh. Played 6, won 2, drawn 3, lost 1, scored 5, and conceded goal difference of, where the fuck are we? 0. So we like to concede and score as well. So what are the big factors for you, Josh, going into this game? Where do you think this is going to be won and lost?
I just don't think that we're very good at scoring against Stoke for some reason. Like, every time I think of us playing Stoke, the scoreline 0-0 pops into my mind. Don't know if that's anyone else or just me. Probably just me.
It's one of those, man, that they seem to be like a bogey team. It is anytime we play Stoke, it just seems to go wrong.
Yeah, almost. I think we're just kind of dead against Stoke, to be honest. So that
Did you
could
just
be.
raise your hand? This is lower hand.
It's, my laptop's freezing. I went to do it earlier as a joke, and it's just freezing all the time. So
Here comes Stressy Bollocks back. Can you stop raising your lowering your hand? My screen keeps flipping. It's really annoying me.
my things. I go
My
to
screen keeps flipping. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really need to look back on these videos to see if it does it when you watch it back.
Yeah, my laptop's frozen over the raise hand thing, so every time I go to do something, it just clicks it.
I just asked Josh in this, where's this game going to be won and lost, and who is going to be, what's going to get this done? Who's going to come out on top on this game?
I think you just take chances and it should be a comfortable routine win, really.
Do you see Stoke as a threat at all during this game?
Because of their form at the moment and where their goals are coming from, not really.
Mm-hmm.
We've been solid at the back and good going forward recently, and I don't think Stoke really have.
I've got a question for both of you.
Goal threat.
I've got a question for both of you. Yeardom and Mate are meant to be back. Do they go straight in, or do they go on the bench?
No, they get eased in the same way Swift was.
Dom, no. Yaku, yes. But I think Yaku will come off at half time.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see Mate in, Elise out.
Yeah, that's the change. That will be the change, is Elise will come out.
What have you made of Elise recently since Swift's come back?
Less productive because his job being a natural creator is now being fulfilled by someone who's just a bit more experienced in it.
Ryan?
Yeah, I agree.
There seems to be, there's always going to be a tick around it, I think, with both them in it. So it's going to be interesting. Right. There we go. Thank you guys ever so much for joining. We will be out Friday normal time, and we will look forward to hearing back from your feedback. Don't forget, Saturday, straight after the game, Adam will be going live with, unfortunately, Ryan is unable to do it, but Adam will be going live with one of you guys, one of the fans, to discuss the game, talk it forward, talk it through, and then post it out there so you guys can go and check it. If there is anything, don't forget about the Discord as well. The link will be in the description down below. And I look forward to seeing all of you again on Monday, where we will be doing a recap of the Stoke game. And when's the next game after that?
Brentford, Wednesday.
Is that a Wednesday? And we will be building up to the Brentford game. So yes, so with all love and care, we will see you guys next week.